What's up, everybody? Anton Kraly here, and welcome to the eCommerce Lifestyle Podcast. Hope you are having an amazing day, getting a lot done, and of course, feeling good. So this episode, or this quick rant, whatever you want to call it, this podcast, is going to be more on the lifestyle side and less on the e-commerce side. So just a quick note going into it. And the reason I just wanted to record this right now really quickly on my way into our office is because I just saw in a group chat that unfortunately Anthony Bourdain, who I'm sure a lot of people listening to this know, because pretty much everyone that follows anything on TV or on the news in the past, decade plus, has heard his name. So Anthony Bourdain, famous not really as much for being a chef as for being an entertainer and bringing stories to the world and sharing things like different restaurants and different cultures, literally just from parts of the world that most people don't talk about. I first heard of him probably when I was in college or maybe even high school, and it's crazy because for all the years that I lived out in Southeast Asia and for the time I was down in South America, so many of the restaurants and places that I went to check out were based on tips and recommendations I found from his shows, like in Hoi An in Vietnam and in Argentina, again, like because of this guy and like where he was showing me and the rest of us. But that's not the point. The point is that it was just reported this morning at the time I'm recording this that apparently he committed suicide last night in France while filming one of his shows. And, that's really sad. And, rest in peace, Anthony. And it's crazy because the way that I saw this, I guess, presented, or the way I got this information, again, is in a group chat that I'm in with a bunch of my friends from back home in New York. And they were basically just like, can you believe this? This guy, had all the money that you could ever want. Literally, his job was traveling, drinking, eating the best foods, and probably getting all the women he would want. Now, I know he was married and he has a younger daughter who I just feel terrible for. But, basically this guy was living, quote unquote, the dream. And now, if what CNN and everyone else is reporting is correct, he took his own life. Literally, and the question is why, of course, right? Now, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago or 3 days ago that Kate Spade, who is a famous designer, you see her name if you go into any department store or luxury brand store again in the world. Kate Spade, clothing and bags and everything that her company has put out. Again, rich, famous, super talented, highly respected in her industry, looked up to, like one of the ultimate influencers and brands. And she took her own life in her, I think in her home in New York. Look back maybe a month or two ago, and what happened? Avicii, right? Literally one of the biggest DJs in the world, some of the biggest hits. Again, like people from all around the world travel just to see him, just to hear his music, just to see him perform. And again, it took his own life. So why is this happening, and why has this been happening for forever? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I really have no idea. And I'm sure even people who are close with the three people I just mentioned don't know why these things happened, because a lot of the times when people are depressed or when they just aren't happy, they don't talk about it because, why would? It's not really a fun thing to talk about. And it's usually something that people keep inside. And sometimes they don't even think about it enough. They don't know really the why. And it seems like to me, if they're going as far as deciding they don't want to be on Earth anymore, that they're going as far as thinking that their problems aren't even worth resolving. Or, maybe they've tried, but obviously they didn't try hard enough because they took the easy way out. Or I don't want to say what I really think about suicide, but they left. So here's something that I think everyone should think about, again, for the lifestyle side of the whole e-commerce lifestyle, the whole business lifestyle, and really just everyone in general. You really have to think, add it to your routine, whether you do it monthly, quarterly, yearly, whatever. You really do have to ask yourself if you're happy, and not just the way you would answer if someone asked you on the side of the street, right? Like if I just saw you, and let's say I saw you at a conference or wherever, we went out to dinner, and I said, so how you doing? Are you happy? Not the one-word answer like, yeah, I'm good, because that's what everybody says. That's the answer, right? I heard a really, what do you want to call it? Maybe a really cool tool or experiment or exercise, I would call it, from a guy named Jesse Itzler, I think you say it. He's a billionaire. He started some private jet rental company, and he started a company called Zico Coconut Water, which you've seen if you've been to any Whole Foods or probably any grocery store. And he's married to Sarah from, she started Spanx. But yeah, billionaire couple, and it's something that he thinks about all the time because, again, he knows most people aren't happy, and obviously he struggles with being happy all the time himself. And by the way, no one's ever always happy. It moves up and down. It's a scale. But one experiment that he likes to do with people when he's speaking to them is he says, listen, if you looked at every area of your life, right? And this is what I recommend you do with yourself right now. If you looked at every area of your life, so your health, maybe the way you eat, your relationship with your significant other or lack thereof, your job, your friendships, your family relationships, right? If you looked at every single thing, right, all your everything in your life, and you rated them on a number of 1 to 10, and you took the average, what would that number be, right? And let's just say, that number is 7. Well, you might not think that's bad, but the way he explained it is a 70 in school is like a C-, which isn't great. And if this is your life and if you're happy or not, it should be better. So that's the first thing. But that's not really the cool part of this experiment. The cool part, and the helpful part, is when you're doing this in your head, and maybe this just happened to you, when you're tallying up how happy you are on a scale of 1 to 10 in all aspects of your life, there's probably going to be 1, 2, or 3 of them that immediately pull your average down, right? Like maybe you're like, okay, work, I'm happy there, that's a 10. Maybe family, yeah, that's okay, that's a 9. But maybe it's like, oh, health, like, yeah, I'm not feeling good about myself, that's a 4, right? And usually by doing this exercise, there will be those handful or couple of categories that immediately pull that average down. So what's good about this exercise is when you do it, you'll just know that, okay, the other stuff is, at least good enough, but these are the couple things that are pulling me down, and that is where I should focus my time, and that's what I should try to improve to, of course, increase my average and really make me happier and make me enjoy life more. Now, I'm not saying that if the 3 people I mentioned earlier in this podcast had done that, they would still be alive today, but it definitely is a useful exercise, and it's something that if you want to work on your mental health without being, going to therapy all the time and without being, I guess, without overcomplicating it and overthinking it, I think that's something that's really useful and hopefully could bring everyone's happiness level, at least on an average over time, up to, an 8 or a 9, because it really does make all the difference. And the good thing that you could realize too is once you give yourself these scores, you can realize that everything, right, every single one of them is changeable, and they're really all up to you. So again, if you do this test and you see like, wow, my relationship right now is really a 4 because my boyfriend or my girlfriend, we fight all the time whenever we're together, I don't know, maybe we drink too much, or we just get on each other's nerves, and it's been going on for years, and that affects my mood in the morning. Like, if that's how you're feeling, then guess what? You could break up. You can cut that right away. It doesn't have to be this long thought out thing if that's what's pulling you down. And hey, don't feel bad about it. The other person will get on in life too, just like you will. If it's something like health and you're like, in the past couple years I've put on 30 pounds and I'm just eating the same crap every day, and I haven't even thought about my health or how many calories I'm taking in or how much I'm working out. I haven't thought about that in years. Well, guess what? You could write out a calendar for the next 3 months of what you're going to eat and when you're going to work out, and then you can get on the phone with a local gym and you could say, listen, I have no self-control. Get me a trainer. And guess what? Don't feel bad about it. I basically did that a few months ago because I knew I wasn't working out enough, and I called a local gym here, which had good reviews online, and I said, listen, I'm not working out on my own. I need a trainer that's gonna push me every day when I'm in there. And guess what? I've been going to the gym consistently, which is leading to me eating healthy. And there's no reason why you listening to this right now can't do that exact same thing in any area of your life. Not promising you it's gonna make you the happiest person in the world, but it is gonna raise your average. And once that happens, if you do this consistently, again, every few months, take your average, see what's pulling you down, and then either eliminate it or improve it. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's my message today. Again, rest in peace for Anthony Bourdain. Thanks for all the amazing recommendations over the years. Rest in peace to Kate Spade. Thanks for everything you've contributed to the world of fashion and Avicii. All your music. I've enjoyed plenty of it, and so have tens of millions of people, probably maybe even 100 million people all around the world. So yeah, guys, just think about it. Take care of yourselves. Ask yourselves if you're really happy, and if you're not, it's not because of the rest of the world. It's because of you, and you can improve yourself. So hope you got some value from that, guys. With that being said, if you're not subscribed to this podcast yet, I've been enjoying it. Hopefully you have as well. I've been putting out a new episode pretty much every day, at least every other day. So check it out on eCommerceLifestyle.com. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.